So siku nzuri leo tume launch nilisema niko kwa jam na kam na leo nimefika, kumaanisha kwamba tulikuwa tuna negotiate na AZAM TV na leo tumetia sahihi contract yetu na AZAM TV ya miaka 7 pay TV na digital, meaning wako na rights za mpira wa Kenya FKF Premier League to cover for 7 years, incrementing by $100,000 every year. It's a big day and significant. Kwa nini? Kwa sababu mpira wa Kenya kwa miaka miwili mahali ulipokuwa, kwangu ni personal victory, kuonyesha kwamba ukifanya kazi nzuri itaonekana. Na AZAM wako very excited. Wataanza kufanya mechi kuanzia wiki moja ama 2 zijazo. Wanaleta broadcasting van dedicated Kenya. Wataanza na mechi 3 kwa weekend. Lakini tunaona baada ya miaka 2 tutafanya mechi zote 9. Kwa sababu tunangojea news kuhusu free to air. Tuna mkataba mwingine wa free to air. Tunamalizia, tunangojea ratiba fulani iishe, na ikiisha basi tutakuwa tumeshikanisha free to air na pay TV broadcaster wawili, na itakuwa historia kubwa sana Kenya. Leo ni historia, lakini itakuwa historia kubwa sana Kenya tukifanya hivyo. Na kwa sababu ya hayo, tukiweza kukamilisha hiyo TV nyingine, itakuwa ni record amount kwa club zetu za Kenya watakayopata kila mwaka kuendesha mambo yao ya club kwa miaka ijayo. Tunatafuta sana kandarasi refu ndio tutulie, tujenge football. Najua mchezaji akijua pesa zake zitakuja, klabu ikijua kila msimu ukianza pesa zipo, I think that it becomes stable, it becomes better, because now they can dedicate themselves to doing it. Personally today, I'm very excited by that opportunity. I'm very excited by what we have done, that we didn't only speak about it, but we actually did it. So every player now get ready. More content on AZAM 4. Tutakuwa na dedicated channel kwa AZAM. Itakuwa ni AZAM 4 HD. Kwa hivyo utaweza kuiona proper. Kutakuwa na shows pale wenzetu na kutakuwa na content nyingi, sio tu kuhusu FKF Premier League, but vitu zingine nyingi tunazofanya katika football ya Kenya miezi ijayo. So I'm really excited, because it would have been easy to think that we cannot do this now. And I have spent the last 2 months negotiating this. I have gone to Tanzania. I have sat with AZAM. I have listened to them. I didn't get everything I wanted, but I got what could kickstart Kenyan football and give us the footing we want. Because as you know, we have done several other exciting things. We have launched our technical center in Machakos. We've been given 20 acres by the Honorable Government of Machakos, where we're going to build the FKF Technical Center. We launched that some 2 months ago. We have launched football campaign, FIFA football women campaign, as you have seen before, that went very well as the only country in Africa. We have launched and will be the country that will host the finals of AFCON for schools by Patrick Motsepe. And we are distributing in the coming days balls to 2,000 schools across now to come and launch TV for our clubs. For me, it's the icing on the cake, and I want to thank those involved in the time that we have put in to ensure that this happens, to ensure that our boys, our coaches do this. As you know, we have been training coaches. We have just concluded our CAF A, first ever CAF A license. That has been a refresher 25. We are starting a new CAF A this October for 1 year, 6 months rather. And so by the time it is this time next year, we will have 50 coaches qualified for CAF A. So what I am telling you is quick steps we have made after suspension. Within under a year, in months, what we have done, and I can tell you to expect more in the coming days.
Mr. President, of course, you mentioned about the benefits trickling down to the players, but you say there are things that need to be fine-tuned before you present that. You could just break it down for us.
No, it's just that we are waiting for the other sponsor to conclude. Because then if we conclude the other sponsor, hopefully in the next 7 days, then you're talking about record deals for our clubs. If we don't conclude that, then we will revert back to what we have, distribute what we have on AZAM. And that's why today we didn't say to you how much we're giving clubs. I am hopeful that I can say to you this in 7 to 10 days, because this will be record breaking if we are able to conclude the other deal that we are doing. And we have gone public and said there's a deal we're trying to do. This deal seems to be stuck somewhere and not finished. We are hopeful to conclude it. When we do, it will really be record breaking for Kenyan clubs.
President game ya madem tuna World Cup ile break even ndio ikampoa. Sisi kama Kenya tunafanya nini at least kucapitalize hiyo nafasi ya madem at least.
So nikupe perspective. Qatar World Cup ilileta $7.5 billion to world football, to FIFA. $7.5 billion. The Australia and New Zealand Women World Cup imeleta $570 million. Nataka ujue, that's about 14 times. So the factor of men football versus women football is 14 times. It's extraordinary. But you also have to put it in perspective, because men football World Cup started in 1930. And every football fan lives, even women football fans, live for the men World Cup. Now, FIFA is trying to bridge the gap. Number of sponsors increment, number of fans attendant. You know, I went to watch in Australia the Matildas, and they had record attendance for any football game, men and women. In Kenya, in the coming days, the Harambee Starlets will play Cameroon home and away in order to earn the next slot to play to qualify for AFCON. Since we came back, we have launched the women campaign, which is made to introduce girls when they are young to the idea of playing football. In the last couple of months, we also assembled our under-20 team from schools. So we create that ladder. As you know, also we have 3 tiers of women football. What we haven't done is we haven't found sponsors willing to directly put in money in the women game. So we're using FIFA funds to do it. And we're using any other funds we might have to support it. But you know, when you do things, lazima umalizane na first agendas first. Agenda ya kwanza ilikuwa vijana wetu, kila mtu hata nikitumiwa message ama mtu anitag, wapi sponsor, wapi TV. Lakini unajua mpira huaishi maneno ya kuwapi nini. Asa kesho tag itakuwa ingine. Lakini at least for the last couple of months tag imekuwa wapi TV. Asa TV tumeleta. TV ya wasichana bado. Kama tu FIFA tutapanda ngazi, then we will get there. So that's what my response is, just to have it in perspective of what it means.
President, just kwa hiyo line ya wapi TV imefika sahi. Can you just give us a sneak peek of what it took to get here, the processes you had to go through, the challenges, and just give us a little detail of what it took?
In documentary.
Yes, sneak peek.
In documentary, to negotiate for about 2 months. Nimekwambia I had to go to Dar. I was asking for $1.5 million. I thought that our league in pay TV was worth $1.5 million for pay TV only. But I couldn't get 1.5. I ended up getting 850. But I had to take it. because for now, that's where we are. If we do well and we have good content, I am sure that AZAM will thrive, and in 3 years we can increase this. There are so many other things that I would tell you that I shouldn't make known publicly. But maybe at some point we'll make a documentary to show where we got. Not only in this deal, but also in the other deal we are talking about, because we were negotiating 2 deals at the same time. It's a juggling game, and you have to keep your mouth shut, because you might say one thing and everything goes. Even today I had to be careful what I say on the podium, because tunaweza kufika wakasema wacha tukafikirie hii maneno. So when you're looking, obviously you have to be reserved and find a way of doing this and doing it in that way. So I will tell you that there'll be a time we'll talk about the deeper details, but I had to go to Dar, I had to meet these people here. We went back and forth many times. There were many things we rejected, there are many things I rejected. But negotiation is about getting to a point where you don't get everything, but you get somewhere where you can both agree, and I think we did that, and today is a big day to do that.
Presida, kiangalia Azam ametupelea pesa, of course is a good thing. Pengine majukumu yetu kama taifa AP, tuko na labda role ya kuuza decoders ama vipi, and then hii deal ambayo unasema tunasubiri ni deal ya title sponsor ama ni free to air TV?
Free to air. Tunangoja free to air conclusion. Tushafanya mpaka contract, tusha negotiate, tunangoja approvals fulani zifanyike. I am told that might happen tomorrow, so I'm hoping I can call you back next week and show you what we have done. Nyingine majukumu ni mimi, mliniuliza TV, nimeleta. Majukumu hayaishi na mimi. Sasa jukumu ni wewe. Nunua decoder, ona kijana wako, shangilia timu yako wakati uko kwa simu, download app, lipa 600, ona mechi, support the local game, because mimi nimefanya yangu. Lakini hata nikifanya yangu na mkosa kufanya, next year AZAM atakuja niambie bukuja hii maneno, watu wako waoni TV. Watakuja kuniambia hivyo next year. Sitaki wakuja next year, nataka niende niwaambie nimeangalia data na mimi naona tumeongezea watu 100,000. Mfuko tuangalie. Tunataka hiyo conversation. Lakini Wakenya lazima watusaidie, wale wanapenda football. Kwa sababu lazima uipende football ndio uwe nayo ulipie. Ndio content iwe sawa. Ndio pia vijana wetu national team wapande. Sisi mnajua tunaenda Qatar. Tutacheza Qatar tarehe 7 kwa mara ya kwanza kupata nchi ya hiyo level kama Qatar. Tutacheza hapo tarehe 7, turudi tucheze Kenya tarehe 12 Tuesday. Hopefully pia mwezi wa 10 tutakuwa na mechi kama hizo zingine 2. Ndio mwezi wa 11 sasa turudi kuchangamka sasa na fixture ya World Cup qualifiers. Na this time tunataka kukua tuko on, tunataka kukua tuko ready, and one of the ways kukua ready ni local league. Thrive local league ianze kuamka, ndio tupate hao wachezaji wachanga wa kuleta kwa hii national team to inject iko sawa.
One more question. Yes, you've left me confused somewhere. The podium you mentioned $1 million.
Yes.
And now you've mentioned about 850.
Tax.
Oh, tax. Or the difference between tax. Okay. And the duration of the contract, just make
the contract is $1 million, but subject to tax. And in Tanzania, they have something they call 15% withholding tax. So that brings you to 850. Just to be clear, there is nothing. So we end up with 850 is what we get in the cup. But the contract is $1 million. They didn't want to add more, and that was the issue. Your other question?
Over 7 years.
Yeah. 7 years. 7 years. 7 years incrementing by $100,000. But again, the $100,000 subject to tax.